morning, children. Welcome back to today's session. Children, in the earlier class, we have learnt about the earth movements and the seasons, how do they occur. Let me quickly recapitulate what we have seen in the previous class. We learnt about the 4 factors which influence the occurring of the seasons. The first reason was the curvature of the earth, second reason was the rotation of the earth, third reason was the tilt of the earth, and fourth factor was the revolution of the earth. So it takes 24 hours in order to complete one rotation, due to which the sunlight is received to the one side of the one part of the earth and the other part will be dark. So that is a heat balance, due to which there is a increase and decrease of insolation, that is how much it receives, it gives it back into the outer space. Later we even learnt about the revolution of the earth. Revolution, it takes 365 1/4 day in order to complete one revolution. Today we learn about the temperature belts on the earth, children. Let us see how the effect of the tilt of the axis combines with the spherical shape of the earth influence the distribution of solar heat on the earth, over the earth. We saw earlier that surface, they fall straight on the portions which face the sun directly and fall at an angle. At the equator, I told you that at the equator it falls almost slantly, and the portions which are away from this equator, they receive less amount of heat. The angle keeps increasing as we move towards the 2 poles. As a result, it is hotter in the areas which face the sun directly and less hot in the areas which receive the sun's rays at a different angle. As a result of this tilt of the axis, the tilt we have seen previously. So it's the tilt. This is actually 90 degrees, but earth is not in this shape, so it's a little bent. It's the 30 degrees, 33 degrees bent it is. So due to which, as a result of the tilt of the axis, the area which faces the sun directly keeps shifting throughout the year. If the same area receives, if there is no tilt of the earth, the same area receives the same amount of insolation throughout the year, that area becomes hot and the other area becomes cool. But whereas because of this tilt, in March the sun shines directly over the equator, while in the June it shines directly over the Tropic of Cancer. I think you got it. In the month of March, it directly shines over the equator, whereas in the month of June it shines over the Tropic of Cancer. And in the same way, children, in the months later, that is in the month of December, it shines over the Tropic of Capricorn in the southern hemisphere. In the month of December, on Tropic of Capricorn. So thus we can see that there is a belt within the direct rays of the sunfall at some time of the year or the other. This belt extending from the Tropic of Cancer to the Tropic of Capricorn is called as a tropical belt. The belt gets the maximum heat energy from the sun. That is, on June 21st, the sun will be on the Tropic of Cancer, and on March 21st and September 23rd, the sun is on the equator, and on December 22nd, the sun is on the Tropic of Capricorn. That's the reason on March 21st and September 23rd, throughout the world, the day and night are equal in size. So when the day and nights are equal in size, they are called as equinox. So these equinoxes occur on March 21st and September 23rd. So these are the 2 days on which the sun directly falls at the equator, and we call it as a equinox. As we move towards the northwards or southwards of the tropical belt, we reach where it is warm in summer but cold in winter. So this is called as a temperate belt. So the northern portions of this region, snowfall in winters, and if you move towards the north or south of the temperate belt, we will reach another region called as the polar region. These seasons, the seasons in this region are peculiar, and this region is also away from the sun during the winter months and does not find any kind of sunshine in the day. That is, during the 7 to 8 months there is no sunshine, in this region. For the next 6 months, it constantly, the sun appears throughout the 24 hours and there is no dark or no night or darkness in this region. So this a place has 6 months of day and 6 months of night in this region. Even during the day, it gets slanting rays of the sun. The sun does not rise above the horizon. As a result of this, you find a freezing cold. So for the next 6 months, it is freezing cold there. So cold that an ocean like Arctic Ocean remains frozen throughout the year. And so cold that becomes frozen like a hard rock and the trees cannot penetrate them. You don't find any kind of growth of vegetation in this region. And it appears for 6 months, the snow melts and part of the snow, part of the sea also melts and part of the sea melts and gives rise for the growth of small plants like moss, lichens and some flowering plants grow in this region. There is a picture in the textbook given of northern lights visible in the northern polar region because of the snow there. The light emitted back, which we call it as the aurora borealis. So that's a picture given in the textbook. Please observe that picture. And with this we complete the lesson called as Earth Movements and the Seasons, children. And once again I quickly tell you about show you the picture. This is a picture, children. It is in June 21st. The sun's rays. The sun's rays fall over Tropic of Cancer. It is on March 21st and September 23rd. It falls on equator, which we call it as equinoxes. And it is on December 22nd. The sun's rays fall directly over the Tropic of Capricorn in southern hemisphere. This is what we try to understand today. And as you move towards the north and towards the south, if you move from this tropical belt, you reach the temperate belt, and after the temperate belt it is a polar region, and you also call it as the tundra region. So as you move towards the north and south, it will be very cold, where you find 6 months day and 6 months night. And even the oceans gets completely frozen in this region. So depending upon the knowledge which we have acquired through this lesson, hope you will attempt the questions which are given at the end of the text of this lesson, improve your learning. Thank you, children.